Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Have Scribes and Men. For those of you who know, yes, this is still part of my journey to reach 10,000 poems by November 2026. I don't know when in November, but hopefully the start of November instead of the end of November. But I digress. We are on to volume 5, so after this, we'll be halfway through the 1,000 that I've already done since July. So within 3 months, I have done 1,000 poems. Well, technically over 1,000 poems, but I'm only reading the thousands with the volumes as I go on by. And so we're on to volume 5, and we are starting with another found poem. Now, this one took me a lot, like hours to do. Normally poems don't take me that long, but found poems are a little bit tricky depending on how you want to do them. And this one, I wanted to rhyme, and I wanted to have a set theme going on through the found poem so that it would rhyme. And as such, I had to spend quite a large portion of time sifting through musics and lines that I feel would have fit the theme of the poem that I was going with. And it took far longer than it should have, but I managed to do it. I managed to make a found poem that rhymes. So without further ado, woe, the nightmare you have isn't mine. Time to make things shine, seeing in blissful dreams, one of a kind, or so it seems. Copy, I heard you had passed away, but you had just slept the whole day, and I'm not one to have much to say, hearing you sleep the entire day. Stop, and I know this may seem heretical, but what I know none is rather medical, and I really think you should get looked at, laying down paralyzed on the mat. Testing, can you really not feel the stick when I poke at your heel? And it seems like such a shame being unable to play along with my game. But did you hear it caught in a crazy dream? Nothing is as ever as it may seem. And the fun thing about this is that it feels less like a found poem despite being a found poem, which is great, but oh my word, did it take a long time. Anyways, of the heroes talked of back then, only one had killed 600 men, though through some folly they considered him wise, as they all dropped to Odysseus' folly and lies. Once again, Odysseus was not a smart man, and he did sacrifice. Like, yes, he was a smart strategist, but he also sacrificed all of his men, and it took him 20 years, 2 side chicks, and all of that before he finally got back to his wife Penelope. Yeah, I feel like many of the other heroes would have done better. Just saying. Oh, and he also got Achilles' heel. He got Agamemnon killed inadvertently. He got like, oh my word, this man is like, yeah, let me just like kill all these heroes and like people. That's a smart idea, right? Hypocritical piece. Anyways. Yeah, so a lot of these are me roasting some of the Olympic, or not Olympic, but Greek mythological heroes, with the next one being Jason. Jason, oh Jason, you fool of a man, to turn to a princess and deny Medea's hand. Of the one who was most loyal to you, cursed to die a dog's death in the land you would stand. Oh, right, here comes, so I started doing this thing where if I got unwanted notifications on my X account, I would make body poems directed at the people sending me unwanted notifications, whether they did it or not. If it ended up in my notifications on X, I would make something about that. And this is one of those. The woman streamed with cleavage fair, leaning back into her gaming chair, moving hands where they should not go, and to the simps teased and would never show. Looking for love in all the wrong places, following behind the steps of sin's 10 paces. When there is love you could know, in the arms of God, but the love of Jesus did show. And then a Christian one following that. I know, the irony. or the duality, rather. Not irony, moral duality. Have I become a creature of greed, taking more than I could ever need? For what reason do I lay upon this pile, only to have all look and revile? Pride of a dragon upon the blood of a whim, generosity aplenty, I am its antonym. Cursed is the fire that flows in my vein, terror of the skies and destruction I reign. Gold-soaked claws, for whom do I bleed? Relentless consumption, for what reason do I feed? Tip of the scales and they all begin to run, haunted by the deeds of what I have done. Pushed them down, then took what became mine. Do not cast pearls before me, for I am your swine. And if you think you're purer, I suggest you look at the dragon in the mirror. So basically this is about a dragon who is guilty about his hoard. The heat of pavement of a time gone and well spent, along the beach's waves, now caught in class after the bell, as teachers begin teaching. Flick of the finger, it begins to go quicker, pop the bottle down and liquor, forget the present, blame the past, the future for a moment, never to last. Ring, ting, ting, and the bell falls, louder than a pin drop across empty halls, where empty laughter made its home and forgotten ghosts of the past roam. The clock strikes midnight, stories told around campfire, camping in the wild. Super bubbly bunny hop down the arcade gaming shop, gotcha rolling a toy it brings, added to a growing collection of things. Another fun little silly one I did. Trace of a pen to draw or write, guided by feelings and sight, where others wither on away, rusting their skulls day by... No, it should be resting. The heck? How did that you get in there? It should be resting their skulls day by day. Rusting their skulls day by day. My goodness. Resting their skulls day by day. Why did I pick resting? Weird. Anyways. Penny for your thoughts, but the mind is gone. No, Mr. Bean, for where you fall and spawn. Convenient amnesia to start anew, where you're the only one without a clue. A still clock that would tick-tock, gears would spin and knock, be broken now by a fired flintlock. Murder bunny, isn't it funny, when all they come and die? But what did one come to expect as it held a knife in the glint in the eye? Yep. West wind current blows, a howl, wolves come a-stalking, prowl, where they go hide, a home, whistle of the air, catagome. Prefecture of a judge, in court, penalty of the guilty sort, prison now a home, locked in, predator becomes the prey within. Sitting and thinking, shouldn't this be one? Yeah, wow, I'll figure it out. Sitting and thinking, eyes tired and blinking, where the land is sinking, how to create geostones linking. Momentary pause and the cause is lost. Pleasure for your pain, was it worth the cost? A monster you wish to be not, yet now you stand among their lot. Gamble with the devil, he will not win. He knows the game and your sin, but a gracious loser he is not when with the blood of the lamb you're bought. So basically, the devil doesn't like it when you become a Christian, so become a Christian. Follow Jesus, make the devil mad. Come a little closer, no need to be shy. There are many wonders, in this I will not lie. Take your journey, take a trip away, and find yourself among the new each and every day. A sudden rainfall, pitter-patter windowsill, inside watching rain. Opulence in the city, their greed, on their high towers, deed, overture of a plot they begin, onward to freedom's height, win. Breathing pulse of the heart, body stops when it won't start, but poor enough and will come alive, with adrenaline pumping from a lightning drive. See a maiden lovely fair, strapped you into a chair. Now that there is no place to go, knives drawn out, begins the show. Yikes. Grab a dose of energy, let it flow in your vein. Grab a dose of energy wired into your brain. Yeah, that's about an energy drink. I'm not going to lie. I was very tired and I was like, I need energy. I will write about energy. Aha. Here we go. I knew how to fly once upon a time, stripped of my wing for my hubris crime, trapped as a ghostly echo of ages gone, but I am no Agamemnon. Icarus, spread your wings, but mine were not metal. Glue the wings and wait for them to settle. A moment of fun to plummet into death. Call me envious, but I am not holding my breath. If Daedalus saw, he would have sworn to the Wright brothers of what they had borne, and from the idea of Da Vinci to father and I, of men who dream to roam the untamed sky. Here I stand grounded among ghostly chords, who sung tales of kings and lords. To say jealousy is not in me would be a lie, as I watch these planes fly on by. So this poem is about the ghost of Icarus watching airplanes. That's basically what it is. Aha. Okay, here's my siren villanelle. Here is my siren villanelle. The siren sang among the sea, knew her duty when her time begun, when her song would never be. Sailors heard and could not flee, when no one knew who could have won. The siren sang among the sea. Smiles embraced upon her lips in glee, frowning when all was said and done, when her song would never be. Listening to sounds she tried to free, to a song no longer hers under the sun, a siren sang among the sea. Anxiety setting in as she cried her plea, crying out from the rocks to anyone, when her song would never be. Cursed was what one could not foresee, a song like a gift from Calliope. A siren sang among the sea, when her song would never be. Or is it Calliope? I feel like I screwed up at the end with this villanelle because I don't think this should be there, but you know what? I'll keep it, even though I know that the end kind of screws it up. Really, all I need to do is replace this this line with one that rhymes with this. Anyone, Calliope, sun, done, one. Yeah. Yeah, this is all one rhyme. So that's typically not how you do a villanelle. I'll keep it. 7 years bad luck. Step on crack, now you're stuck. Where lightning twice struck. Pocket of rye turned into a dye for a seamstress to try. Skills that no one could deny. When onto the cloth she would apply. The whistling wind along the barren ghost town, where men had worked before the gold had run dry, where miners sometimes would die. Arrows piercing skin, warrior's pain flowing through, this battle his last. Flowing fountain of youth in sight, fools who seek immortality, blight, festering among the forgotten, the lost, fury of the holy, crossed. Roses of the violet fell among the violent, as they all fell, and then remained silent. Smile of the wicked in style, shake a hand and stay a while. All for your soul to go and take, selling all to you that which is fake. Weight of a body, feeling like lead while tired. The bell tolls for sleep. Love so coy like a fox, whispering words and subtle talks, a sudden tease and sway, confusing you till the end of day. Boredom is a clock ticking by, as you're watching paint dry, locked inside a plain room, your mind now spiraling into doom. Put on a mask, get ready for a ball. Vampire masquerade, now suddenly their thrall. A gift under the sun's ray, visiting you forever during the day. Because I'm bringing back the actual vampire lore that they can, in fact, go out during the day. Not whatever BS Hollywood put out. None of that. Or whatever these games that put out thanks to Hollywood. None of that. I'm going back to classical vampires in myths. Sure, they may be weakened under the sun, but they won't die under the sun. Pin drops hollow hall, buzzing of the creaking light. Fear creeps on the skin. Kill the cat with a story to tell. Hero's journey before they fell. Black cat's eye, wink and a smile. All done in feline style. Twist the knife, watch a life of the ones that you now stole. Panic starting the mind now in strife, never again to be or feel whole. Time ticking right on by, death waiting for you to die. In a thread across fate's seam, once upon a morbid dream. Gentle touch of grass, under the shade of a tree, afternoon picnic. Mirror, mirror, now shattered glass, foxfire inside that cannot pass, for a mistake that you made, now haunting that which will not fade. She calls in the morning, she calls in the night, appearing in every shattered mirror in sight. Patience of a kitsune's ire to one whose fate is now dire. Best to find a way to mend, a ritual to find, and then send, as another mirror begins to crack, to make sure you do not slack. Now a touch of magic to make things whole, to break her out, that is the goal. By the end, a lesson to reach, a moral for the kitsune to teach. Basically, somebody was dumb enough to trap a kitsune inside of a mirror, and they are now haunting them through every mirror they come about, unless they let them out. Whisper among the wave and a siren kiss, intoxicating beauty of a song to never miss. Oh, you foolish, jolly sailor bold, did you ever listen to the warnings told? Abandoned ship where the captain goes as the water begins to enclose, sinking to the oceans below where only Davy Jones may know. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, onto the wall your hand did slam, fingers under the chin, drawing closer with a grin. Another poem about Caboddon. I have, one thing about me is you're going to see a very common theme that centers around the Caboddon. A sudden embrace, hands closing in from around, the lover returns. Do not draw me closer to a clan to tie, my voice tires of all those who die. From maiden to crone, who do you seek? Fate shone in your eyes, should you peek. Down by the river where the blood does flow, clothes for the dead in whom they'll go. After a while I too will begin to tire, watching all who begin to expire. Why must I be used as a morning call, when in death another will fall? All I wanted was an embrace of those who sing and dance in place. From ghost to the unseelie, there's another place I'd rather be ideally. Instead of death, give me love and life, in a place there is no strife. So basically a banshee who's getting tired of being the omen of death in a clan or family and all of that, and wants one that she doesn't have to be around for death, wants one more based around romantic ideals. Rain sprinkling down, music notes on the window, and ambient sound. Neon blinding lights, robots and their fights, in a city without sights, getting augmented during days and nights. Foxy were her ways, she moved, futuristic musical club raves, grooved, flashing through neon lights, dancing sway, feeling the rhythmic mood, runaway. Or runway. Spiraling colors, kaleidoscopic spinning in an artist's mind. What is the sun and the night's runway in a city of dreams where people don't sleep, where the lights move past the lunar ray and money holds a carnal sway? Pick a cup, protect the chalice, rise a toast among the palace, to ghosts of men wearing crowns and ghosts of queens in tattered gowns. Create the divide, make them fear, Blind their eyes and never let them draw near. Better to control when disabled sheep, trading truth for lies where they sleep. Bow down to the king, you may call me the jester, wisdom in my hand. Vanity of the haughty, a mirror. Value of the material, clearer. Valor of blinded men, white night. Victory sleeps from graves, blight. Gaze upon the stars in the coolness of the night, astronomer's sight. Queen and her maid upon the throne, a crown of flowers to her was shown. Pleased was she upon the sight. Where's the D in that? Phrasing. Pleased was she upon the sight, and to reward her one as one might. Cupcake laced with chocolate drizzle, a side of pop that still did fizzle. Upon the tongue it soon would kiss, a sweetness still that would never miss. A bargain sought for one to make, a steal of a price and a desire to take. Along the path of a shopping spree, trampled through and now never free. Trust the crypt of the grave keeper's tale. Down the stairs and beside the rail remains the grave of one you seek, empty now by the sounds of a shriek. To the dog, a boy so good, bacon and treats as one should. To the park and out to play, a moment of time to spend the day. So, go spend some time with your doggo and, feed them bacon, because every dog deserves bacon. Delirium comes to a sleepless mind, for a body longs for a sleep to find. Yet in the hour awake we stay, past the night into the dawn of day. If you're sad and worried, looking for the outlaw, with a hair that was so... No. Let's start that again. If you're sad and worried, looking for the outlaw, with a hair that was so red, and maybe that is true, no, I would not be worried for what you have to find when her hair changed from red to blue. Bleary eyes opened wide in the sleepy struggle. As Sandman comes near to toss his sand, my eyes go shut and my body longs to fall into a sleepy stupor into the bed's hand. Look a little closer and maybe you will find hidden things and creatures, each of their own kind. Eyes... wow, these typos are horrid. Eyes that glow in the dark and smiles begin to howl. Learn the lesson from a book and always carry a towel. That was a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference for you guys. I suppose it was he who would come to showing timeless tales of mist and snow, in snowy peaks of mountain high above the ground and closer to the sky. Trapped in a circus where forms are final, scattered mind living out their own denial. Laugh of a madman, what brings him glee, caught in the mystery yet none can see. Made of clowns of men, we all become fools, given a box of toys, more than useful tools. Crack a smile, try not to frown, before the tower of dominoes crash down. Remembering what we did, but not who we are. Take a fake prize, and now you're a star. Snap a picture, yeah, it won't last long. Surrounded by the strange, where you now belong. Roll of the dice and a new game to play. Lights go off, and it's the end of the day. Are you a human? Do you have a soul? Trapped in a place you'll never be whole. That is, I shouldn't have to tell you what show that inspiration comes from. If you've been paying attention. I will give a hint, it comes from Glitch Studios. A beauty to see, set your grace and eyes on me, like the spring of youth, bring me to your embrace and show me your hidden place. A cup of water poured from the mountain's cold spring, for refreshment in hand. Induced into my chains, now broken, included in our pain, spoken, it came from within, our doubt, insecurities in the chest, shout. Step into my home, said the spider. Mind the webs and ignore them growing wider. May I offer you dinner or a drink at last? Mind not the shadows closing in fast. All to think I forgot as a clown now, crown now. Lift away and spun away, always asking how. And so it's up to see it's between you and me. Crafted weapons now showing one how to be. There's enough to say when you are down to play, a million ways in yearly days. Stand around and don't meet the shore, otherwise you'll meet the boar. And yes, not like it's a double. So basically, the boar, B-O-A-R, but also the boar, like if you're doing nothing, you'll meet the bore, like the guy who's boring. It's like things will become boring or like meh. Through times of need, they say the S is silent, despite the pleas when things become violent. But that is only true for those who have no. But that is only true for who have not a clue, and with the guide, the rage inside will know what to do. There are things we've done with cake that we are not exactly proud of. We say this for your own sake. Be wary of such a cake that makes you proud. If you're looking at that poem and going, "What?" That's the point. Falling left one with such a stain, hitting the ground, feeling the scars of pain, as the others laugh to see all that would now become of me. Roll the dice, play the game, build the characters, increase the fame. But beware if you roll a 1, for you may then become undone. So basically, welcome to D&D. Waves don't care who they claim, one to another it's all the same. Yet there are those to whom we'll play, grab a board and have their day. So basically surfing. To the siren's call, many men will come and fall, and become a thrall. The tightening bones from the winter's frosty weather, movement now rigid. Wonder of the ages gone past, wind of time's movement last, where mighty graves lie, now dead, we all must go, thread. Fire in my veins, nothing to blame, infernal raging, unable to fully tame. Bring out the cooling balm and bring me to a state of calm. Fighting through the passing days, wait upon wait, fighting through delays. Reach out a hand, but no one was there. Still, I do what few ever dare. Aha, ha. Welcome to my next Sestina. Will I be taunting you guys? Yes, actually, yes. Have you returned now for another go? For what do you desire to show, encompassing your mind and all you know? Will the people know what you have just done? Who do you seek to influence and stun? Are there any who follow when there was none? Ambitious plans of the few, and now none, to carve out a path where you must go, seeking the Sestina to wrestle and stun. Dragging it out into the public to show what your madness has gone and done. That should be done. I forgot to put that in there because done. What your madness has gone and done. So all may see and finally know. A spiraling set that many don't try or know. Writing more than a few, there's next to none. Yet out of spite, moving for it to be done. This is a very meta Sestina. Going to where no other man dares to go, and to the others something there to show, like a taser seeking words to shock and stun. How many do you seek to shock and stun, with the encrypted words and rhymes you know, standing on the tower of papers that you show, calling this fun where there's absolutely none? Hate is just another place for passion to go, to feel the fire and get things done. Oh, the words are crying, what have you gone and done? How far down the hypnotic spiral have you gone to stun? Do you even know where your passions now go, where things are hidden in the present for all to know? The existence of the Sestina where I'd wish there was none, and now all must go flex and show. revealing it all like a Technicolor TV show where the hammer of passion strikes to get things done, licking up dreams and motivations where there was none, wielding a form towards others to gawk and stun. For there are many things they wish not to know, as I show a place in poetry they fear to go. So to them I seek to show the heights which one can go, all that can be done with all that one can know, to a place where there will be none, where fear can come and stun. Second Sestina for you, very meta, because it's about me tackling it. And of course, my ire towards it. I told you there'd be more. Shine down upon the meadow thy sun's rays, upon the knights with swords in hand, in the grotto where he kneels to pray, to obtain the strength to rise and stand. Flight of the Tengu, lesson tied to morality within their mountain. Give me a moment of respite, of time's going past in its flight. Slow down and let me think and write all that comes to my mind and sight. Vampires in the sun, still alive, vanity and a smile, thrive, victims of the forgotten, the lost, value of the blood, cost. They jumped the shark on air, the show lacked ideas, aware. Testing the audience reception, they watch, they showed no love, botch. Into the fire it started growing higher, cutting it close to desire, threading the lines and the wire, never realizing how things got so dire. Now bodies burn as if on a pyre. Pressure cooking, standing on edge, arm shakings while reciting a pledge. And so on to war they will now go, to return alive only time will ever know. The buzzing insects, while on a cool wooden deck, nighttime nature groove. Spin the chamber and take your aim. Take the shot to never be the same. Smoking now on the gun's flame, to a life none now can tame. Will you honor the dragon who desires to be a parent? There is nothing odd or even errant of the gifts they would shower and give for the one under their wing with whom to live. Sit under your money tree that you've grown and toiled free, now to bless what it will give, a new way now to relax and live. Peace upon the cool wind's breeze, whether the shores or among the seas, patient comes to those willing to learn, where ages pass and then turn. And that is going to be Volume 5, halfway through the first set of the volumes, until I reach 2000 at least. And then we're going to continue on to Volume 6. But I will see you guys then. Bye.